Imagine that you're a soldier and you are in the middle of Afghanistan and you're in the middle of a battle. You and the soldiers around you, made up of your friends, you're ducking in and out of houses. You go into one house and you stop. You're frozen. You see a kid in front of you, young child, pointing an AK-47 at you. What do? Do you shoot this young child to save your friends that are with you? Or do you let your friends die? If you shoot this child, it's possible that you could possibly later develop PTSD. This is a mental health condition, and it usually happens when you experience or witness a terrifying event. I show a lot of care and concern for this because my father is actually a veteran, and it could have easily just as happened to him if he would have been involved in one of the wars that we have had. People may think that just because they do not see it, PTSD is not as relevant or prevalent today and doesn't affect veterans, but indeed it is actually just the opposite. The effects of war and PTSD can be really quite devastating. A study by the Department of Veteran Affairs shows that this actually is from the Veteran Affairs, and from 1999 to 2010 it shows the number of veteran suicides per day by year. And it's said that about one every hour. So at the beginning of this class to the end of this class, one veteran could have committed suicide. 1 in 6 actually try to commit suicide, and this is by Sherry Duvall from the Canines for Warriors website, and she's the founder and executive director from there. ROTC programs that are in high school, I actually had a very close friend who was involved in this, and it's possible that he's in war now, and he could actually possibly develop PTSD later. And it's actually closer than we think. It's with our neighbors and our classmates, and some problems can also arise. Some symptoms, hostility, aggression, depression, suicide, and obviously you can see the other ones there. This can tear families apart. An example is Jason Hodge. He felt isolated from his family, and he stayed away. He basically lived in the basement and cut off from his family. It creates personality changes in these veterans, and they're not the same as before, and their families can tell when they come back. And because of this hopeless desperation, a lot of PTSD sufferers, they turn to substances or thoughts of suicide, but there are other ways to deal with this. Canines for Warriors helps bring hope and healing. These dogs are rescued from shelters, and they're trained to help these veterans. And it's kind of funny how these dogs' lives are saved, and then they're helping save another a veteran's life. It is said that a dog's vigilance that they have makes the veterans feel more safe, and unconditional love that is shown helps them show trust. And that is from Jeff Truesdale from the EBSCO-host Virtual Reference Library. Canines for Warriors is a unique alternative other than medication or psychotherapy that many PTS veterans would undergo for many, many years. Some of the medication that they would actually take would be Xanax, Prozac, and Zoloft. And that's from Jacqueline Lounge from the Gale Virtual Reference Library of Medicine. And this is Sherry Duvall. These are some quotes. Sherry Duvall said these dogs provide more medical improvement for the warriors than any drugs that they have been placed on. And Jamie Leon is actually a veteran, and she would be waking up from nightmares, and the dog would be nuzzling her. And then she just decided all of a sudden that she didn't need her medication anymore that she was taking. This example of Jamie Leon came from Jeff Truesdale as well from EBSCO-host. Not all these stories are stories of hope, however, and many may not end positive, but with Canines for Warriors it can. It's a non-profit organization, and they're financially transparent, which means that anybody can see what is done within this company. The president takes no salary, and There are also no advertising that is done. And for every dollar that is donated, 94% of it goes to veterans and dogs. And people may wonder, if their money was actually going to these veterans and dogs to help them, and it actually is. And this came from Wendy Diamond, who was part of the Board of Advisors for Canines for Warriors. An example of this is Jason Hodge, like I mentioned before. After 3 tours, he was shutting out his wife and kids. He slept with a gun underneath his pillow in the basement. But after a little over a year with his dog Axel, he started to reconnect with his family. And he's actually coaching baseball for his sons who are 11 and 8 years old. He's reduced his medications for anxiety and depression. And a quote from him is that he thanks God for a dog. Veterans in this speech may be unknown, but it's possible that you may know people who suffer from PTSD. So don't turn your back on those who need your help. I encourage you to make a call to action and make a donation. And how this is done is you can go to the Canines for Warriors website, which is www.caninesforwarriors.org. And like I mentioned before, 94% of each dollar donated goes directly to these veterans. It's amazing and revolutionary, and for caring for veterans. And it's possible that with this donation you can help save a life today.